This is my first time trying Starfruit. I don't know, let me know if I have to wait until it gets ripe. I've seen online it would have to be yellow. This is almost yellow, a bit of green, some brown. A lot of water. I don't know if this is ripe, but it's not that sweet. It reminds me of an unripe apple. If I had to give this a score, I would give it a 6.2 out of 10. It's okay. This is my first time trying Mangosteen. It doesn't smell like mango, and I doubt it's going to taste like mango. It does look like garlic. I don't know how to eat this. It's a bit sweet and sour. It doesn't taste like mango. It's almost like a peach and a lychee. I'd give it a 7.9 out of 10. This is my first time trying Rambutan. I always see these and right off the bat it reminds me of lychee. And people in the comments say it doesn't taste like lychee whenever I ask, but it smells like lychee. It's almost exactly like lychee. It even has a seed on the inside. The texture is the same. So I don't know why a lot of people are saying it's different than lychee. I'm not making a kulfi out of this. I already made a lychee kulfi and this is exactly like lychee. If I had to rate this, it would be 8.5 out of 10. This is my first time trying Buddha's hand. I just saw this at the supermarket and I just wanted to see what this tastes like. It's basically a lemon that's not sour. It's also not sweet. It isn't as bitter as you would think of just biting into a lemon peel. It's more or less just lemon flavor. So it doesn't really have any meat. It's all skin and this white part here. If I had to rate it, it looks cool. I would give this a 7.4 out of 10. Let's try cotton candy grapes. Alright, now I really hope this tastes like cotton candy. I just went to the Asian supermarket and I saw this there. It doesn't smell like cotton candy. Just for reference, I have some cotton candy. And let's first give this a taste so we remember what cotton candy is supposed to taste like. Alright. Now let's see if this tastes like cotton candy. Oh snap. A tiny bit, yeah? That's cool. So it just looks like a regular grape on the inside and even on the outside, but it has a nice hint of cotton candy. I don't understand what cotton candy flavor is. There's something else. I know they use sugar cane, but even sugar cane itself doesn't taste like cotton candy. I want to know what makes cotton candy taste like cotton candy. I gotta do some googling.
Let's eat a poisonous fruit.
Used to be poisonous. So this is the Ackee fruit, and if the fruit itself isn't ripe, then it could be fatal. And I always see these in Jamaican restaurants when it's paired with saltfish. Like you'll see it on the menu, Ackee and saltfish. I never actually tried it. I always went for the oxtail or the jerk chicken. So the only way you could eat this is if you wait until the fruit ripens and naturally opens. And to make it even safer, you could boil it. And afterwards, you're left with this. It kind of reminds me of corn, sweet corn, but not as sweet. So yeah, I just got this from a can and I was told that's how you would usually eat it nowadays because it is hard to find the actual fruit. And I'm assuming the risk is there as well. So not many people want to be playing around with that. But yeah, try it out.
Let's try Soursop. I remember reading articles years ago about how this has cancer-reducing properties. I don't know how true that is, but I always see them in Asian supermarkets and it reminds me of jackfruit and durian.
I'm not sure if this is ripe. It is a bit hard. I think I had to wait until it got softer. I don't know, this kind of reminds me of like an unripe peach or plum. It's kind of sweet, a little bit sour. It's hard to explain. Let's try the most expensive mango in the world. So this is the Miyazaki mango. It's super red and it's from Japan. And for some reason, a lot of fruits coming out of Japan are just super expensive. I don't know why, but I've seen articles about people spending hundreds or thousands of dollars for a box of Miyazaki mangoes. Now, I'm not that stupid to buy $1,000 worth of mangoes. I'm a bit stupid because I bought one and this one costed me $68. And it came with an instruction manual and I don't know what this is, but seems pretty legit for a mango. So let's cut this open. Nice color. It smells really good. Okay, so it just melts in your mouth. But it reminds me of one of those little mango jelly cups. But is that a good thing that it reminds me of some sort of artificial jelly cup mango thing? So mangoes are my favorite fruit. Well, it's on par with watermelon, but specifically Pakistani mangoes because they're super sweet and I'm not even being biased when I say that. I can't find a sweeter mango than Pakistani mangoes. And I usually only eat Pakistani mangoes once a year. They usually come around June, July. So next month, hopefully I can get some and compare the taste to this. I don't know if it's going to be better. Like, this is pretty good. It might be on par, but the price isn't worth it. So is it better than the time I spend money on caviar or truffles? I would say this is a better experience than I had with caviar or truffles. I think I'm just a sucker for mangoes. Mama!
कितनी ठंड?
Okay, this is the most expensive mango in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet.
What?
How much?
Too much.
So why you buy?
Want to try?
Eat with paratha और रोटी.
Is it better than Pakistani mangoes?
क्या कह सकते नहीं अच्छा है not bad लेकिन पाकिस्तानी थोड़ा टेस्ट totally different है. Mexican totally different. ये Japanese है right? But I like my Pakistani. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Can move your chocolate.
Okay. बैठ के खा लो आराम से.
It's juicy. It just drips all over your hands. If I had to rate this out of 10, this is like a 9.6 out of 10. It's really good. So am I going to buy this again? I don't know, maybe for like a special occasion. Not often. Let's eat the world's hottest pepper.
Bismillah. So you might be wondering why I'm eating this. For those who don't know, I also stream on Twitch. And the more you watch, then the more points you get. And for 100,000 points, I'll get Carolina Reaper. And one faithful viewer by the name of Rock got 1,000 points, 100,000 points. And I'm eating it. I got some milk here. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I'm also live on TikTok right now. How long do I wait? 5 minutes. I can't do that. I'm already crying. I need some kulfi. Oh, it's not a good look. It's been 6 minutes. I think it's slowly starting to wear off. Yo, but the kulfi saved my life. It's weird. I feel like I can't burp. It's like the back of my mouth is numb. Go get like a mango juice. Ooh, that would be so good right now if I had mango juice. Oof. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. I think that's it.
Let's try a giant lemon. It's not actually a lemon, but it does look like one. It's called a pomelo, and I always see these in Asian supermarkets, and they're always wrapped up in nice packaging. It smells almost like an orange or a grapefruit. Looks more like a grapefruit on the inside. I'm not even sure how to eat this. It does remind me of a watermelon. It's almost like an orange. I thought it would be sour like a grapefruit, but it's not really sour. It's not as juicy, so there seems to be like a hard skin in the center that you don't really eat. It went from looking like a lemon on the outside, a grapefruit on the inside, to a watermelon just by the way that I sliced it, and it tastes like an orange. That's a pomelo. Let's try a white strawberry. So apparently white strawberries are supposed to be a bit sweeter, maybe taste like candy or a bit of pineapple as compared to a regular strawberry. It smells like a regular strawberry. There's no difference. Man, if I was blindfolded and you gave me this, I would be like, this is a regular strawberry. It's not sweeter. I don't taste any candy flavor. Definitely no pineapple flavor. I don't know, maybe it's this batch, or people are always hyping up weird looking fruits and saying this is amazing when it's the same thing. So you're basically paying double because it's white. That's it. Who knows what this fruit is called? It looks like a nose. I saw this at the Asian supermarket and it was called a red roser. So I googled it, but I couldn't find anything that looked like this and was called a red roser. So if you know any other name for this, please let me know in the comments. But I just want to know what this tastes like. It reminds me of a pear. It doesn't have any scent. Can we eat the skin? Let's see. Not a lot of flavor. It is juicy, but it's kind of dry in my mouth. I don't know, think of a pear without any flavor. I'm also not sure if this is ripe. If this is how it's supposed to taste, I don't know why anybody would buy this because it doesn't really have any flavor. I'm trying to give this a rating, but a rating requires taste. It does have a satisfying crunch. I can't really rate this. You're biting into nothing. Let's try the most expensive mango in the world versus a Pakistani mango. So this is the Japanese Miyazaki mango. This costed me, well, it came in a packet of 2, and even just unboxing this thing almost felt like an iPhone unboxing video. It just felt so supreme and elegant. And the Japanese one even comes with a certificate, so that seems pretty legit. And this costed me $125. This is the Pakistani Chaunsa mango. These came in a case of 6 and it was around $35 $5. Quick maths on that. What's the math on that? So each mango is about $5.30. And the unboxing wasn't as supreme, but oh, it does come with some confetti. And let's start off with the Japanese Miyazaki mango. Whew. Okay, the color on this is perfectly golden. It's already dripping. It just smells like, oh, the perfect mango. Okay, that really melts in your mouth. You don't have to chew it. If you didn't have any teeth, all you have to do is squish your gums together and you're fine. And I don't know if that's a good thing that this tastes like an artificial jelly cup, or maybe those artificial jelly cups taste like a mango. That's the way we should be thinking. So this is the Pakistani Chaunsa mango. Okay, this one's a lot lighter in color. Ooh, this one's also juicy. Okay, it is a different mango taste. It's not like a jelly cup. This just tastes like a natural, juicy mango. It's also quite soft. You can actually eat this another way. Just want to cut this part off a bit, and then you want to squeeze this up and make an incision right where that stem was. And now you can just squeeze and suck out all the juice. This is like mango juice in a juice box. That's what it is. I like how this gives you a lot of mango, but the price is just out of whack. And the Chaunsa mango, it is smaller, but it is a lot cheaper. I would give the Japanese Miyazaki mango a 9.7 out of 10, and the Pakistani Chaunsa mango a 9.9 out of 10. It's really close.
Here's how you can get a coconut. I'm in Zanzibar checking out the food scene, and my favorite drink has to be coconut water. And climbing this coconut tree is a lot harder than it looks. My man here is basically wrapping rope around his feet for grip, and his technique is on point.
The rope, it will stuck on the trunk, and your hands should be holding the trunk carefully.
And once you're at the top, you gotta let everyone know at the bottom that you're about to drop a coconut. And apparently over 150 people die every year from fallen coconuts, so you gotta be careful. And once you safely get down, grab the sharpest knife you have and begin slicing off the outer shell of the coconut until you get to the softer white interior, where you can just cut a hole right through the top and you get access to the coconut water. And the coconut water that I usually have back in Canada is a young coconut from Thailand, and this is pretty much the same thing. It tastes like that, but we're actually in Zanzibar. And I know some of you don't like coconut water, but this is my go-to drink either before, during, or after my training sessions. It's super refreshing and it just hits the spot.
Let's try snake fruit. So I don't know why they call it snake fruit. It doesn't look like a snake. Maybe it does look like it has scales. It has a really weird smell. It reminds me of some sort of cleaning agent or like a mechanic's shop. It doesn't smell appetizing. I don't even know how to eat this. Let's try slicing one open. And at the Asian supermarket, the label did say this one is from Thailand. Ah, interesting. Orangey yellow on the inside. Smells a bit citrusy. It reminds me of something. It smells a bit like pineapple. Alright, let's just see what this tastes like. I'm assuming I can't eat the skin. I guess you can peel off the skin as well. So I guess that's the inside of a snake fruit. And I think you can break this into segments, I guess. There we go. It tastes like a pineapple. And there's a seed on the inside. So it may not be as juicy or sweet as a pineapple, but it does taste a bit like one. Kind of has a weird aftertaste, like almost, I wouldn't say metallic, but I don't know, it just has a bit of a weird aftertaste, but the flavor is nice. Well, there you go, snake fruit. Although it may look like it has scales, like a snake, it tastes like a pineapple. If I had to rate this, I would give it a 7.1 out of 10. It's nice. Let's try a wood apple. I'm assuming it's called wood apple because it's hard. I saw this at my local Asian supermarket. You obviously can't bite into it, but how would I open this? I just feel like smashing it together and seeing what happens.
I'm gonna smash you, boy!
It's hard, it's not breaking. Ah, there we go. Okay, this looks like a fossilized rock. Smells like Home Depot. Oh, is that mold? What is this? I hope this is safe to eat. This just looks like a rotten orange. It's like gray fungus. I honestly don't know what this is. If you open it up, it's like brown on the inside. Usually I don't Google stuff before I try it, but I don't want to die. It has gray stuff. It could be a sign of mold or decay, and it's best to discard it. Okay, let me try the other one. Hopefully this one is ripe and not moldy. It's more orangey. Hopefully this one's better. Wow, this one's hairy. It's super moldy. Look at this one. Man. Okay, wait. I'm gonna take one for the team and find a piece that has no mold on it. I just want to see what it tastes like. It's like insulation. Okay, this one looks quite clean. Bismillah. It's like a mix between a sour yogurt and the smell of wood. I don't know if you guys know what this is supposed to taste like when it's not moldy. Let me know in the comments. I'm assuming this is not what it's supposed to taste like, but I'm gonna give that a 1.2 out of 10. Let's try an apple. Specifically a custard apple. So I've seen this around my Asian supermarket. I have no idea what this is or what it could even taste like. It doesn't smell like anything, but it does look like there's a bunch of mini bananas growing, and it also kind of looks like an artichoke. So this kind of looks like soursop on the inside. I don't think it's ripe. It also has some seeds on the inside. I'm not sure why it's called custard apple. It doesn't really smell like a custard. It reminds me of some sort of zucchini. If it's ripe, maybe it's really sweet, I don't know. But this does not taste like an apple. It does not taste like custard. It looks like soursop, but it doesn't taste like soursop as well. This is a confusing fruit. I could also just very well not be eating this at its ripe stage, so it's probably my fault. Yeah, it just reminds me of a zucchini. I don't know, I have another one of this because it came in 2. So I think I'll let this ripen, maybe a few days, and let's see how it tastes then. But for now, if I had to rate this, assuming this is what it's supposed to taste like, I don't know, this is like a 4.2 out of 10. Let's try a golden berry. So I'm sure we all tasted strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, even though I think strawberry technically isn't a berry. I remember reading something like that. I've never tasted a golden berry. It doesn't really smell like anything. It tastes like a mix between a kiwi and an orange. A lot of these fruits that I'm trying for the first time always has some sort of orange taste, but this one is more on the kiwi side. I would give this a 7.9 out of 10. Let's try the most expensive grapes in the world. And these are from Japan. It's called the Green Muscat Shine grapes. And this cost me around 50 bucks. So if we can do the math on that, let's see how much is in here. So each grape is gonna cost you around $1.50. And honestly, they look like the most perfect and pristine, clean grapes I've ever seen in my life. Come on, man, they taste like regular grapes. They are bigger, they're juicier, but flavor-wise, nothing really crazy. It's not really sweeter. They just look really good. It's not 50 bucks worth of grapes. It's whatever. This is honestly like a regular grape. In terms of value to flavor ratio, I'm giving this like a 5.6 out of 10.
Oh my god, jumbo size. So good, yeah.
It's not so good. It's the same thing.
No.
Yeah, it is.
जो यहाँ का जो
It's the same flavor.
local? No.
No, okay. The flavor and the sweetness, it's the same thing. There's no difference with the regular grape we get here.
पता क्या? Last 2 years, I thinking कि सारा fruit change है, but इनका fruit जो है अभी भी ठीक है. Yeah, believe me.
Here's how you can make Durian Kulfi. Kulfi is basically like ice cream and it's a very popular frozen dessert in Pakistan. You know Saturdays are my cheat days, so let's get started. This is a $150 durian. I never had it before, so this will be my first time. The smell is actually not that bad, but it kind of tastes like sweet mangoes and onions. You either love it or hate it. If you love it, then you can scoop out the meat and add a whole bunch of honey. Give it a good mix. Then in a blender, you can add whole milk and heavy cream, milk powder, sweetened condensed milk, a pinch of salt, and your onion and mango mixture. Now you can blend. The consistency should be pretty thick. Then you can pour it into any mold you wish because we'll be freezing this, or you can leave it in a bowl and eat it with a spoon after it's frozen. Leave this in the freezer overnight and hope you enjoy. Also, let me know in the comments if you actually like durian. Let's try the ultimate apple. My local Asian supermarket posted on their IG of something called the Envy apple that's apparently a lot more crispier, or it has more of a crisp bite and it naturally stays white for longer. It is crisp. It tastes like any other apple. And I'm not sure how it naturally stays white longer. I guess there's something in here that doesn't make it oxidize as quickly. I don't know. It's an apple. Okay, the more I eat it, the more I do like the crisp. Or that also maybe because I don't really eat a lot of apples by themselves, so maybe I forgot how crisp an apple can be. It is juicy. Okay, the more I eat it, the more I'm liking it. I don't know. Is it the ultimate apple experience? I don't think it's ultimate, but it's a good apple. I would give this a 8.2 out of 10. Let's try Kumquat. I always heard about these, but I don't know what they are, and I never actually tried them. It just looks like a small orange. It has a funny name. It's almost like a Pokemon. It smells like an orange. How does it taste? I don't think you can eat the skin. Well, I think you can eat the skin. I don't think you should. It's a bit bitter. I don't know if you like it, then yeah, go ahead and eat the skin. Let me eat the inside. It has a few seeds. It isn't as sweet as an orange. I just want to eat the skin. I don't know why.
Alright, so now I know what a kumquat is. It's just a mini orange, and you can also eat the skin. That's cool, I guess. Let's try a Yumberry. So I saw this at my Asian supermarket. This was $16.99, and apparently this is a Chinese version of a strawberry. Honestly, this just looks like something straight out of Pokemon. Okay, there's a seed on the inside. It honestly kind of tastes like a blackberry. And for once, I think this is also ripe. It's sweet. It's a little bit sour too. It's not fully like a blackberry because the beads are very small. And the inside honestly reminds me of a strawberry. So this is the child of that. So it's better than a blackberry, but it's not better than a strawberry. I would give this a 7.7 out of 10. Let's bite into a tomato. It's not a tomato, it's a persimmon, but it looks like a tomato. It's sweet. It kind of reminds me of a honeydew melon. I don't usually eat this a lot. My mom does. She has like a whole tray right here. So you can just slice it and eat it with the skin on or off. And you do have to wait until it gets a bit ripe. And by ripe, I mean pretty soft. Some people like to wait until it gets super soft, almost mushy. At this point, it's not really mushy, but it does have a good bite and it's also sweet. So I find this is a good time to eat it. Some people also like to dry them out and it can kind of look like this or maybe even a bit longer. The dried ones, I'm not that much of a fan of. It does kind of taste like goji berries, but I don't really cook with this too much or eat it as often. If you do eat this often, do you eat it by itself or do you cook with it? Let me know. Let's try a pink pineapple. It's pink on the inside, not the outside. So let's just slice this open and let's see what it looks like. Okay, and ooh, there we go. It's actually pink. And you already know I saw this at my local Asian supermarket. And there we go, it's all pink. Honestly, I'm not sure what makes it pink. I'm sure it's some sort of GMO or I don't know, honestly. I don't think this is natural. If it is, let me know in the comments. But it smells like a regular pineapple. Let's see if it tastes like one. I don't mind biting into this like a watermelon. It's very sweet and it tastes pretty much like a regular pineapple. It looks cool, but no difference in flavor. I'm not going to give it a rating because it's a pineapple. You guys know what it tastes like. It's definitely not worth the money. I think this was like $12.99 for a pineapple. Not worth the price. Let's try tadpoles. I'm joking, it's a passion fruit, but they do look like tadpoles. I've tried passion fruit once years ago, but I kind of forgot what it tastes like. It smells really citrusy, almost like a mix between an orange and a lemon. So the tadpoles are crunchy. It's almost like glass candy. It's a bit sour, but not as sour as a lemon. It's a bit slimy. It's almost hard to separate the tadpoles from each other. I don't know what they are. Seeds, I guess. And I don't know which culture eats a lot of passion fruit. You could say Pakistanis love mangoes, but who loves passion fruit? I don't know. You guys let me know. I would give this a solid 8.6 out of 10. Let's try a golden dragon fruit. So I've tried red dragon fruit in the past and honestly they taste kind of similar to kiwi in my opinion. Now if I remember correctly, we can just peel off the outer layer. That's satisfying. Smells like kiwi. It tastes like a really sweet kiwi, but a bit crunchy because of the seeds, which is nice. It's almost the same texture too as a kiwi. And I think it's a lot more satisfying because you get to bite into a really thick piece. I would choose this over a kiwi. I would give this, like it's good. I would give this like an 8.9 out of 10. It's also super juicy. Like it's just dripping. So this is where your chocolate comes from. It's called a cacao pod and it's basically a fruit. And when you crack it open, you basically get this white fleshy material, and apparently you can also eat this fleshy material because on the inside of this is the actual seed that we'll use to make the chocolate. It's a bit sweet, it's a bit sour. It reminds me of a mix between soursop and rose syrup, and so this is the seed that I'm going to have to ferment and then roast, which will basically give us the chocolate nibs that we can then use to make whatever type of chocolate we want. It's also quite slimy. So the next step is going to be to ferment this.
I'll pop this in my dehydrator at 115 degrees for about a week and then let's see what happens.
Let's try a golden melon. So I love all melons and my favorite is probably watermelon, but I never tried golden melon. It smells like a really strong cantaloupe. It'll be wild if this actually tastes like a watermelon. I don't think it will. I'm gonna try eating the skin. I don't think it's edible, but let's see. No. Or is it? It's a cantaloupe. There's no difference. And for once, I think I found a fruit that's actually ripe because this actually tastes sweet, but the texture is harder. Cantaloupes I find are really soft. Like there's not really much of a bite. This has a bite, unless maybe this is actually unripe and it's supposed to be soft. But taste wise, it does taste like a ripe cantaloupe, but it's a bit crunchy.
And unlike cantaloupes, you can actually eat the skin. Well, it's edible. I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but I didn't mind it. So yeah, golden melon. It's basically a cantaloupe. Let's try another wood apple. Last time I tried a wood apple, it was completely rotten on the inside. Let's crack it open and hopefully it's not rotten. Oh, this one's juicy. Okay. It also looks like it's bleeding. So it does have some white fungus. There we go. It's a bit slimy. I don't know what that is. I don't know if this is safe to eat. Try this piece right here. It's almost giving a bit of a citrus vibe, you know, a bit of a lemon or an orange, but not as sour. I see it's bleeding. I just want to see what that liquid tastes like. Hold on. Then put this in. Wow, it's like honey. Ooh, that's good. That reminds me of rovza, which is a type of concentrated rose syrup. It's super thick, sweet. It's a bit floral too. I would say the blood of the wood apple is a lot better than the actual flesh or meat of the wood apple. Oh, I'm sure you can make a good drink with that. I hope this one's just not completely infested with mold. Let's see how I feel tomorrow. But if I had to rate this, the meat itself isn't the greatest. I'm going to give that maybe a 6.1 out of 10. But that thick liquid, I'm giving this a 8.1 out of 10. It's quite good. Let's try the most expensive watermelon in the world. And this cost me around $300. This is the Densuke watermelon from Japan. See? Woo! I thought it was going to be super bright red, but it just doesn't look like it's worth $300. Come on. Okay, it's crisp, but the sweetness and the flavor is average. There's nothing that screams $300 watermelon in this watermelon. What a waste. I don't know why everything out of Japan is super expensive. Okay, I give it, their mangoes are really good. That you can actually see the difference, you can taste the difference. This does not warrant a price tag of $300. This is the most expensive watermelon in the world.
Ooh.
Guess how much it is?
मैं खा लूँ पहले.
Okay, go eat it.
So sweet. अच्छा.
That's good. But is it any different?
क्रंची है थोड़ा मोटू है स्वीट है कहाँ से लिए
Gina market.
ये तो बहुत ही जबरदस्त है
I'm not buying it again.
How much मैं खा लूँ पर ज़्यादा तो नहीं
No, you can go.
कितना
For a watermelon, it's really good, but it's not worth the price. Taste-wise, texture-wise, I'm giving this a 9.4 out of 10. Let's eat Chikoo. So Chikoo is a fruit that my mother used to eat growing up in Pakistan. I remember eating this a couple of times years ago, but the only thing I remember was that it made my mouth really dry and I never ate it again. So I don't even remember what it tastes like, but it does smell like a cross between a pear and a guava. It's a bit sweet. It's kind of like a guava. It's not drying out my mouth, so that's good. It has an interesting texture. It kind of feels like it has tiny pieces of hair, and it also has a seed on the inside that I took out. But yeah, it's nice. It's basically a cross between a guava and a pear. But if I had to rate this, it's a 7.3 out of 10. Let's try a jackfruit durian. So jackfruit is a separate fruit. Durian is a separate fruit. So it's a crossbreed. That's just what the sign says at my local Asian supermarket. And apparently it's from Vietnam. It doesn't smell like durian, so that's good. I don't think this is even a durian. I think maybe they just mislabeled it. Okay, this doesn't taste like jackfruit. It tastes like a coconut. Wow, that's basically coconut meat. I'm assuming you can only eat the yellow flesh. And it also has that somewhat dry texture that coconut kind of has. It's also a bit juicy at the same time. I'm happy this didn't turn out like durian. I made a Durian Kulfi once because people said they like durian ice cream and that's F tier. The other jackfruit, I don't know which country that's from, but that one tasted like a strawberry candy. This one tastes like coconut. No complaints. I'm giving this a 7.9 out of 10. Let's try Loquat. So Loquat is a fruit that I haven't had in years, so I don't remember what it tastes like. It doesn't really have a strong smell. It's almost like a mild orange, but not really citrusy. And the texture seems like an unripe kiwi. Okay, yeah, so think of the flavor of an orange, but take away the citrus. Apart from eating it by itself, I'm not really sure what other people do with this, like if it's in any desserts. If you guys do cook with this, let me know in the comments of what you guys make with Loquat. And I remember my parents telling me they used to eat this a lot in Pakistan. I don't know which other countries have this or eat this a lot. I would give this a solid 8.1 out of 10. Let's try a red banana. I'm in Tanzania checking out the food scene. We saw this on the side of the road on our way to the Serengeti, and let's see what it tastes like. It tastes like a regular banana. It is a bit softer than a regular banana, but taste-wise, it's sweet. There's no real difference in flavor, but it does look cool. And they sell the bananas in a bundle. I think it's maybe about 2,000 Tanzanian. I think the currency is shillings, and that's like less than $1 currently. I think that's like 60 cents maybe. This is where coconuts come from. I'm in Lombok, Indonesia, checking out the food scene. Oh, it's so refreshing.
Raise your children like this in the jungle, fresh coconuts. Say mantap. Oh, mashallah.
And these coconuts can be found all across the island at the top of a coconut tree, which can be over 100 feet tall. So if you're not good at climbing, then you gotta find somebody who is. And I got my man Lalu here, who's a local, and he makes it look easy. You also gotta be careful if you're at the bottom, because if this coconut falls on your head, it's game over. Now with a sharp knife, you gotta slice away the outer layers until you get to the white meat.
So this one is be medium, not all, not young. Okay, this is the meat.
See? I think coconut water is definitely one of my favorite drinks. It has to be fresh with no preservatives, no added sugar, especially during and after training session. Like this helps you so much. It's a bit sweet, so you need a bit of that sugar when you're just exhausted.
Alhamdulillah. Wow, this is the best.
It's got like a banana, like a young banana taste.
Banana?
Indonesian coconuts, they are a bit more bitter, but they're very high in electrolytes. Thailand, Fijian coconuts, the smaller ones, they're a lot sweeter.
It honestly tastes like it's fizzy.
Let's get coconut.
Is this even sharp or what?
Yeah. Look at that, wax job. Where am I gonna put this thing? There's no hole here, Lalu. There's no hole, bro! Where's the other hole on the other side?
I don't think we're gonna get a coconut today, man. I'm thirsty.
You can't climb. Like, Lalu, sorry. You live in Lombok and you can't
Yeah,
climb a
I know.
coconut tree. How about if
Yes.
your wife in the middle of the night says, I'm craving coconut, what do you do? I think we've left the climbing for the professionals. MashaAllah, Bismillah.
Let's try a ruby pomelo from Thailand. I love the packaging on this, if you can even call it packaging. It's just tied up in some rope. And let's remove it from the rope. It's a bit squishy. And let's try slicing this open. Oh wow, this has really thick skin. So I guess that's where it gets its name from, ruby. It's super red. It smells very citrusy. And honestly, I don't really eat pomelos a lot. I think I've only had it once in my life. The texture is very firm. It's not really as squishy as an orange, but the taste is like of a mellow orange. Other than eating it by itself, I'm not really sure what people do with pomelos, but for a fruit, this was quite expensive. This is about 30 bucks. It wasn't as expensive as those Japanese fruits that I got before, but for an overpriced orange, I don't know who's going to pay 30 bucks for this. If you guys have any recommendations on what I can do with this, I'm assuming maybe I can make a drink out of this or just eat it by itself. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to have to give this a 7.1 out of 10. It's alright, but it's nothing really to go crazy over. It's not what it looks like. This is a fruit called tamarind and has a bit of a tart sweetness to it. All you gotta do is bite into it, peel this out, and then you'll see the soft, gooey fruit interior. And just remove the inside from the shell, and this is what you eat. It has a lot of seeds on the inside, so you gotta spit those out. And it's an interesting flavor. It's almost like a mix between an apricot and a caramel, maybe even a little bit sour. A lot of Mexicans I find use this in candy, which is interesting. And it's not as common in Pakistani cuisine, except for maybe a chutney. We call this imli, so we have an imli chutney, which is really nice. And to make the chutney, you wanna add your tamarind into a pot, along with some water, and bring this up to a boil. Cook everything down until it looks like this. And now you can strain this into another pot and scrape off all that flavor. And now to this, we wanna add gur, also known as jaggery, also known as concentrated cane sugar, along with a tiny bit of chili powder, ground cumin and coriander, and salt. Now just cook everything down for a couple of minutes and you're good to go. Oh, sweet, tangy, a bit spicy from the chili powder. It's one of my favorite condiments. It's so good I even put it in the cookbook. You can put this on anything. I like it on kebabs, pakoras, samosas, perfect in bun kebabs. And that's pretty much how I like to use tamarind. Let's try purple milk fruit. I don't even know what that is. I saw this at my local Asian supermarket. I don't see any milk. It is purple. I don't know if you can eat the skin, but what is this? And I guess they call it milk fruit because the inside is kind of white. It's almost like a soft pear, but it's also a bit jelly at the same time. I would say this has a very mild taste of lychee, and it's not pronounced lychee, it's pronounced lychee, FYI. I don't know who eats this. I don't know why you would eat this. It's nothing really too flavorful. I've tried so many exotic fruits at the Asian supermarket that every time I go back, I never think I'm going to see something new, but here I am. If you guys know anything about this fruit, let me know in the comments if there's any special way you can eat this or which country this even comes from. If I had to rate this, in terms of flavor, there's not much there. I'm giving this maybe a 2.8 out of 10, but it does look cool. Let's try a Korean pear. It looks kind of like a Pokeball. This is probably the biggest pear I've ever seen. Smells kind of like a pear. Wow. Okay, that's crisp and also very juicy. I don't eat pears often, but from what I remember, they are usually a bit softer. This has the texture of a really light and crisp apple, but the taste of a really juicy pear. I don't know, because I don't really eat a lot of pears, but I'm thinking this is the best pear I've ever eaten in my life. I'm sure there's a lot of different pears out there, but this is quite good. I'm giving this a 8.1 out of 10.
Let's try a Malaysian mango. This is called the Harumanis mango, and unfortunately, I always have bad luck with picking unripe fruits. Luckily, the hotel that I'm at had a ripe one, and my mic also wasn't working, so I'm just gonna explain what this tastes like. It was very sweet, but also a bit tart at the same time, maybe a little bit sour. So it was ripe, it was sweet, but if I had to choose between this and Pakistani mangoes, I'm gonna have to go with the Pakistani mango. But the views here are beautiful, so I'm actually gonna make a drink with this. I'm gonna add some mango puree, mango juice, lime juice, and some of this beautiful Harumanis mango with a whole bunch of ice. Blend this up, and I guess you can call this a mango mocktail. The only difference between a mocktail and a cocktail is that there's no alcohol, so I guess you can also just call this a regular mango shake. Regardless, anything with mango in it is top tier in my books. Orange, tangerine, mandarin, and clementine.
Is there a difference in taste?
First up, orange.
It's a bit of a hassle to peel. It's juicy. I think we all know what an orange tastes like. Let's move on.
Next, tangerine.
This one's a bit easier to peel, and it doesn't seem to have a lot of pith. It does have more seeds. It's more of a squishy texture. In terms of flavor, it's quite similar. I can't tell the difference.
Next, mandarin.
This one's also easy to peel. It's a bit smaller. Okay, juicy, not a lot of seeds. It's still sweet, but it's also a bit more on the sour side. But overall flavor is still a bit similar.
Lastly, clementine.
I guess orange was the hardest to peel for some reason. That one has a nice balance between sweetness and a bit sour. In terms of overall flavor, if you were to blindfold me, I maybe could guess it, but there's not a huge difference in flavor. I don't know, you guys let me know if you can tell the difference.
Let's try cactus fruit.
Is there a seed on the inside? I don't know. No. Okay, so there's no seed on the inside. Ooh. It almost reminds me of dragon fruit. It smells kind of like it too. I don't know how to eat this. Do we peel it? I guess you can peel. Oh, you can almost. Oh, okay. So we can basically peel off the meat. Smells like a veggie smoothie. A lot of seeds. In that small bite itself, there are already maybe 6-7 seeds in there. Taste-wise, it reminds me of a mix between dragon fruit and passion fruit. It is a little bit sweet, but nothing crazy. I'm not a fan of the seeds. How am I supposed to enjoy this? Like every bite, there are so many seeds. Do you cook with this or do you blend it and then strain it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys know how to eat a cactus fruit. Or I guess you can just swallow it. Final verdict? I would give this a 6.8 out of 10.
Who knows the name of this fruit? So I saw this at my local Asian supermarket and it was labeled as Fakai citrus. So I tried Googling that and nothing came up. So I honestly don't even know what this is. It has engraved letters. If you know what this says, let me know in the comments. I'll slice this up again so it's easy to eat. But it looks like a lemon on the inside. It's like the essence and flavor of an orange mixed with a lemon, but without the sourness and without the sweetness. It's not bad. I'm just not sure how they even got this into that shape and how they even engraved the letterings in here. It's not really an indentation. It just almost pops out. I'm going to give this a 6.8 out of 10.
Let's try a croissant melon. The patterns look like a watermelon, but it's shaped like an eggplant. It also kind of reminds me of Cell from Dragon Ball Z. Oof. So this has a lot of seeds on the inside. I'm assuming I'll just scoop these out and let's see what the green flesh tastes like. Smells like a cantaloupe, but not really that sweet. It tastes like a cantaloupe or a honeydew, if that's the same thing. Are those two the same melons? It tastes like one of those two. It is a bit sweet, but it's not as sweet as a honeydew. It is refreshing because there's a lot of water. So on a hot day, this would taste really good. It's no match for watermelon because that's the king of fruits, in my opinion. On par with Pakistani mangoes. But this, yeah, it's good. I'm not a huge fan of honeydew or cantaloupe to begin with, but this is still pretty good. I would give this a 7.2 out of 10.
Let's bite into a lemon.
It's not sour. It's a bit sweet. So this is called mitte, which basically means sweet in Urdu, and it's commonly found in Pakistan. It's basically the taste of a lemon, but without the sourness. I don't know, like if I'm making a lemonade, the reason I like it is because I like the flavor of a lemon and the sour aspect. It's interesting because it's the same flavor as a lemon, but your taste buds don't get activated from that sour aspect. So it always feels like it's missing something. Apart from just slicing this up and eating it as is, I'm not really too sure what else you could do with mitte. I'm sure there's another name for this apart from it just being called sweet. If you guys know another name for this, let me know in the comments. So it kind of reminds me of Buddha's hand, but there's actual fleshy meat that you can eat, as opposed to just being all skin or pith. If I had to rate a lemon, I would give that maybe a 8.9 out of 10. Without the sour aspect, I'm giving this maybe a 7.1 out of 10. It's just missing something.
Let's try mini bananas. Right, so growing up, I always saw these in Asian supermarkets, and I've seen them for years. I just never actually tried a mini banana. So let's see if there's actually some sort of difference in taste. It smells pretty much like a banana. I don't think this is going to be crazy. I'm pretty sure this is just going to taste like a banana. Man, it's a regular banana. I think I had high hopes for this. You know, I thought it would be something amazing or crazy because I always saw this growing up and I was like, what do those mini bananas taste like? And why are there even mini bananas to begin with? I enjoy bananas. I always use them in my smoothies or as a snack. So I guess these are nice for little snacks because sometimes, you know, a large banana is a bit too much. You always either eat half of it and then you fold it and then you just leave it and forget about it. But at least with these ones, you can eat one whole banana and it's fine. I guess that's the only positive thing about this. But yeah, that's it.
Red dragon fruit versus golden dragon fruit. Let's see which one's the sweetest. Let's start with the red dragon fruit. Slice it open. Not bad. This one just looks super red, almost like a beet. It just reminds me of a really light tasting kiwi, not as sweet. I would say it's better than a kiwi just because you can take a big bite and it's quite satisfying. If I had to rate the sweetness, I would probably give this a 6.8 out of 10. It could be sweeter. Now let's try the golden dragon fruit. Slice it open. Okay, the texture and the sweetness is already up there. I would say the texture is almost like a lychee and a kiwi. It's a little bit squishy, almost like jelly. In terms of sweetness, I would definitely say this is sweeter than the red dragon fruit. If I had to rate it, I would give this in terms of sweetness. Hold on, let me go again. It's still not super sweet, but it is sweeter. I would give this one maybe a 7.6 out of 10. It's not as sweet as like a mango or a really good watermelon. Let's try egg fruit. I saw this at my local Asian supermarket. I believe it's popular or it's from Vietnam. It looks like a mango. It's not juicy like a mango. Oh, it's like drying my mouth. It's super dry. Absolutely no juice. Oh wait, but it actually does kind of taste like an egg. That's so weird. It's almost like a sweet egg. It's taking a long time to swallow. Super hard. I don't know, eating this raw is not really enjoyable. It's super dry. But if you guys do cook with this or if you know how to eat this, let me know in the comments. If I had to rate this, I'm gonna give, okay, on a texture and a juiciness level, this is like a 1.2 out of 10. I'm gonna give it flavor, maybe, I'm gonna give it a 5.9 out of 10. I feel like you have to do something else with this and you can't just eat it raw.
Let's try a quince. It reminds me of an apple. Quince or quince, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I've heard of this before. I just saw this at my Asian supermarket and I want to see what this is about. I'm hoping this is ripe. It's giving me that dry mouthfeel. All the saliva in my mouth is just gone. It reminds me of an unripe pear. Kind of sweet, not really. And it's not really crisp. Like you don't bite into it and hear a snap. It's almost a bit chewy. I don't know what you do with this. Who eats quince? Who eats this stuff? Or maybe it's not ripe. I don't know, you tell me. If you know what to do with a quince or quince, let me know. But yeah, I would give this a 5.6 out of 10.
Let's try breadfruit. So I first saw this on a random TikTok. Apparently it's a popular fruit in Jamaica.
Yo, go on, boss. Yeah, working alright. You eating any breadfruit?
And I asked my boxing coach, who's also Jamaican, how I'm supposed to prepare this. And he said you just gotta bake it in the oven until it gets really soft. So I'm gonna remove the stem and pop this in the oven at 400 for about an hour and a half. It doesn't really smell like bread. It smells like a starch, almost like a cooked potatoes. So it's basically white on the inside. The slice reminds me of a watermelon. So it kind of has the consistency of bread, almost like when you chew it and it gets almost gummy and it just becomes compact and sticks together. It doesn't really taste like bread, and I guess the skin almost peels right off too. And I'm pretty sure Jamaicans eat this with actual food. I don't think they just eat it by themselves. Let me know in the comments if that's correct, but do they eat it like how we eat roti, where they scoop it up with something, or is it a side dish? I honestly don't know how you're supposed to eat this.
It's not much flavor though. It's almost like a really mellow potato. If I had to rate it, I would give it maybe a 7.3 out of 10. But if you know how I'm supposed to eat breadfruit, let me know in the comments because it's quite plain. Let's try a Chinese lemon. It kind of looks like a lime. I saw this at my local Asian supermarket, and for some reason they were all individually packaged, and I don't know why they seem pretty special. I guess I'll treat this as a lemon and just give it a good roll before I slice it up. It looks like a lemon. It has a lot of white pith on the inside. I'm hoping it's not as sour as a lemon because I'm just going to bite right into it. It's a little bit sour. It's not as sour as a lemon, but it's up there. Yeah, it's a weird mix between a lemon and an orange. It's not as sweet. I don't know why I keep doing that. It is a bit addicting. I don't know if you guys ever used Chinese lemons before. Let me know in the comments on how I can incorporate this in dishes. I wouldn't say this is better than the regular lemons that we have here in Canada. I don't know if yellow has a flavor, but if it did, it would taste like a lemon. And this is just lacking that yellow flavor. I'm assuming you can make a wicked lemonade with this. If I had to rate the sourness of a yellow lemon, like let's say that's a 10, this would maybe be an 8. You know, it's up there, but it's a little bit more doable. And I think it's a bit more flavorful. Yeah, it is a bit addicting, but in a good way. Let's try the most expensive tangerines in the world. And these are called the honey tangerine from Japan. Of course, every fruit from Japan at this point is stupid expensive. So this cost me 60 bucks. Quick maths, each tangerine is like $5. Holy. And honestly, I don't know what the difference is between a tangerine and an orange besides the shape and the feel. I think flavor-wise, aren't they pretty much the same? It is juicy and there's no real seeds. It's almost refreshing. I haven't really eaten tangerines a whole lot, so I'm not really sure if the taste is supposed to be any different than this. It just reminds me of oranges, honestly. Mama. Whoa. Oh, that was like $5 wasted. So each slice is like $1.
इसको सैलेड में डालो.
I don't like fruit in my salad.
Orange ये लोग डालते भी हैं. Asian.
How do you know what Asians put in a salad?
Mandarin.
Yeah.
Mandarin का आप सैलेड खाओ, उसमें आपको orange आपको ज़रूर मिलेगा.
You mean Mandarin the restaurant?
You don't know. So many उसमें सैलेड हैं. Mandarin में 200 dishes हैं उनकी.
It's sponsored post on Mandarin now. I'm giving this maybe a 6.7 out of 10. It's alright.
Let's try a jackfruit. I always saw these in Asian supermarkets, but I never actually bought one or tried it. I just cut it open with an oiled knife because it is very sticky, and then I made slits around the fruit and popped out the seeds, while also removing these white bits, and that's pretty much what you eat. You may also have to cut the fruit whole and then pop out the seed like that. And honestly, it tastes really good.
Yeah, it reminds me of one of those candies you get after a buffet. Those little strawberry ones. Let's try a pink lady apple. So many of you commented saying this is your favorite apple. I just did a video of me trying a whole bunch of apples, and the Honey Crisp was my favorite. I didn't have pink lady at the time, so let's see if this is this is any better. That's juicy. And it's a good crisp. Damn. Okay, wait, let me compare that with Honey Crisp. Also very juicy. Honey Crisp seems more refreshing, but Pink Lady, it has a pretty good crisp and it's definitely sweeter, and I think that takes it for me. I don't know which one my parrot wants. Man, what are you yapping at? Oh, now you're quiet in front of the camera, eh? Now you don't want to say anything. Hold on, let me give you a Pink Lady. Yeah. Come on, take it, it's fine. So if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with Pink Lady. This is gonna be my new favorite apple. I'm gonna give it a 8.4 out of 10. Let's try baking pomegranate. I saw some old village auntie doing this up in the mountains somewhere. She just wrapped the pomegranate in tinfoil and put it in a tandoor. I don't have a tandoor, so I'm just gonna put this in my air fryer and bake it at 400 for about a half an hour. For some reason, I'm thinking this is gonna taste like
the pomegranate molasses.
Let's carefully open this. Ooh, this is super soft already. And it's already oozing out a bit. Oh wow, steaming. Take this out. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. And it smells like a baked potato. I saw her spread this on, I think it was maybe some sort of chicken or a slice of bread, but I just want to try it by itself. It's good, but it doesn't really taste like anything different. It's a warm or hot pomegranate. It's the texture. It's just a little bit more jammy because the liquid is a bit thicker. It's not like that refreshing popping juice you feel when you bite into a fresh pomegranate seed. It more so coats your tongue. It's not really exploding. I could totally picture this on a slice of toast, but I guess if you did want to make a jam, this would be the fast way to do it. If you guys do eat baked pomegranate, let me know in the comments on how you like to eat this. But if I had to choose between this and a fresh pomegranate, I'm gonna have to go with the fresh one. I just like the refreshing aspect of it.
but this is still good. Let's try Renga. I'm in Lombok, Indonesia, checking out the food scene, and I usually find this stuff at my local Asian supermarket, but I'm in the actual wilderness here, which is the natural local Asian supermarket in Indonesia. So there's like tiny little seeds on the inside. Ooh, that's cool. It's almost like a sweet pear mixed with, what's that fruit called with the tiny little beads on the inside?
Passion fruit.
Yes, passion fruit. Yes. So it's like a mix between a sweet pear and passion fruit.
We call it renga.
Renga.
Yeah. If you want to know about this one is ready, you have to touch them. If like very easy, this one is ready. How to eat? You have to eat like this. Look at this inside. Very sweet.
If I had to rate this, I'm going to give this maybe, I would say an 8.1 out of 10. It's a bit sweet, it's a bit sour, I like it. Let's try a Bengali lemon. So I tried a few different lemons from different countries. This one apparently is from Bangladesh. I believe they call it Jara, J-A-R-A, correct me if I'm wrong. It really does smell like one of those sour lemon candies. It also seems to have a lot of pith. It doesn't look like it's going to be sour. Okay, it's a bit sour. It's not as sour as a lemon. It really is like a mix between a lemon and a lime. I don't know, but this is reminding me of Sprite. I think I'm gonna make something out of this. 1 second. Let's squeeze some of this in here. Oh, there's not a lot of juice. Sugar, sparkling water. Kind of refreshing. Okay, this honestly tastes like diluted Sprite. I put nowhere near as much sugar as Sprite actually uses, but this kind of tastes like Sprite, but it's not as sweet. I guess Sprite really is a lemon and a lime. Pretty cool. I would give this a... It's diluted Sprite. I would give diluted Sprite a 8.4 out of 10. Let's try a Mexican apple. You already know I saw this at my local Asian supermarket. It seems to be called a hawthorn or hawthorn apple. It looks like it has little dots on them. Okay, this tastes like a mixture between a strawberry and a green leaf, if you know what I mean. It smells like that green leaf. I don't know if it's because it's not ripe or if that's what it's supposed to smell or taste like, but it's a bit sweet. It's very soft. Almost reminds me of maybe like a peach. It's not crisp like an apple, and it seems to have a seed on the inside as well. Hold on, let me try again. That's kind of an interesting flavor. I don't know how else to explain it between a strawberry and that leaf. If there's any other way you guys like to prepare hawthorn apples, let me know in the comments. But if I had to rate this, I'm going to give this a 6.1 out of 10. Let's try a honey passion fruit. You already know I saw this at my local Asian supermarket. And with my luck, I'm surprised this isn't rotten. I got 3 just in case and I sliced 1 up. It smells super ripe. Apparently it's popular in Vietnam. I love the seeds and the weird stringy gooey texture. It's a little bit sweet and sour at the same time. The seeds almost just pop in your mouth, but honestly I don't get the difference between this and a regular passion fruit. I know it looks different from the outside because I've seen other passion fruits and some are orange. Taste wise it's pretty much the same, but I think passion fruit would be in my top 10 favorite fruits. I don't know where exactly it stands, but I'm gonna give passion fruit a 9.1 out of 10. It's really good. Let's try a golden cherry. New fruit unlocked at my local Asian supermarket. I didn't even know these existed, and they were quite expensive too. This whole thing cost me about 20 bucks. It is juicy, but in terms of taste, it honestly tastes like a regular cherry. If I remember correctly on what a cherry tastes like, I don't think this is any different, but it just reminds me of the time that I got a golden kiwi. I thought that was going to taste different as well, but that pretty much tastes like a regular kiwi. But at least for once, I got a ripe fruit. I'm horrible with my fruit selection skills, and I always get something that's unripe, so at least this is very sweet. I don't know if it's worth the price of 20 bucks because the regular cherries were like 8 bucks. So it's definitely not worth more than twice the price. And even some of them aren't even golden. Some of them are still reddish. Not impressed. Let's try apple date. I saw this at my local Asian supermarket and I'm assuming this is what you get when you mix an apple and a date. It is quite juicy and it has a flavor right in the beginning, but then it went away. It honestly kind of reminded me of the smell, a bit of a smell like alcohol right in the beginning, but then it went away. And it's more so just like a mix between an apple and a pear that's not really that sweet. Okay, it is a bit of that stale pear taste. Okay, so it's not initially alcohol. It's more of like it's almost like that scent of a stale pear or apple. It comes right in the beginning when you bite into it, but then it just goes away and you're left with almost no flavor. I don't taste any date flavor at all. I don't know who names fruits nowadays, but I wouldn't have named this an apple date. I would have just named this a papple. It's like a pear and an apple. Yeah, if you guys know what this actually is, let me know, or what it's supposed to taste like if this one isn't ripe. But I would have to give this maybe a
5.9 out of 10. It's not really anything. I always think that I'm never going to try another new fruit again because I've tried so many, but there's always something new that pops up at the Asian supermarket.
Let's try a fresh date. So I guess this is what a date looks like before it's dried or before it's ripe. So this is what we usually think of when we hear dates or when we eat a date, but these are fresh dates. So I'm assuming this is before it gets dried. I just saw this at the Asian supermarket and it was labeled as fresh dates. It doesn't really smell like anything. It's crisp, almost like an apple. It's a bit sweet. Does it have any date flavor? Okay, now I'm doubting myself whether or not this is an actual fresh date. Maybe they mislabeled it. I've never even heard of this before. And I guess, I don't know, all I want to know is sooner or later, is this thing going to turn into this? But this doesn't taste anything like a date, but it is giving me apple vibes. And I guess that's the date seed right there. All right, let me eat a date again, just so I can refresh my memory. A really rich, sweet flavor. This isn't really as sweet, it's more milder. Let me try the brown ones, maybe they taste a bit different. Hold on, let me rinse my mouth. So I'm going to see if the yellow ones taste any different than the brown ones. Nah, pretty much the same. All right, I guess that's it. It's basically an unripe apple that's a bit sweet. It doesn't really taste like an actual date, and honestly, I don't even know if these are actual fresh dates. I'm just going off what the Asian supermarket says. It's labeled as a fresh date. If this is a real thing, let me know in the comments. I would give this a 6.4 out of 10. That's whatever.
Lychee versus Rambutan versus Logan. And it's pronounced lychee, not lychee. But let's see if one of them is sweeter or if one tastes better than the other. Let's start with the lychee. It's quite similar because they're all circular. It has some sort of shell and then a white fleshy meat on the inside. And there's a giant seed on the inside too. Okay, so it's quite sweet and a little bit sour. Next up, Longan. You just gotta bite into it. Smaller seed, definitely has more meat. It's not as sour. It's a nice mellow toned sweetness. Lastly, Rambutan. This one is just super hairy, but on the inside it looks pretty much the same. A lot more meat than the other two, but it's not as sweet. If I had to choose my favorite, I'm gonna have to go with the Longan. This is actually quite sweet, and in second place it's gonna be lychee, and lastly it's gonna be Rambutan. In terms of flavor profile, they're all kind of similar, but in terms of price, the Rambutan was the most expensive. This was, a whole bunch of this was like 20 bucks, and then for the same amount in lychees, this was about $9, but surprisingly the cheapest and sweetest one was a Longan. This whole bag was only like $2.50. Let's try yuzu. I think you can call this somewhat of a Japanese lemon. I saw this at my local Japanese supermarket and it was $16.99 for one. It's super fragrant. This smells like a mix between a lemon and a grapefruit. It's not as firm as a lemon. It is a bit softer. So there seems to be more pith than actual flesh. Hold on, let me just see what this tastes like by itself. Okay, so there's not a lot of juice. There's not even any juice in here. What's going on here? What is this? Okay, so there's no juice in here. Okay, so that's all I got out of one yuzu. Either that's what a yuzu is usually like, or I just caught one that doesn't really have a lot of juice. What am I supposed to do with this? A lot of seeds. It's not really that sour. Okay, so it's almost a mix between a lemon and a grapefruit. More so a grapefruit. I don't understand. Okay, number one, what are you supposed to do with this? And number two, why it's so expensive. I just spent 16, 17 bucks on this and I'm sure I can do something with this. So I'm gonna keep this in the fridge. If you guys know what I can do with this, because there's honestly no juice in here, let me know in the comments and I'll do what I can. I just don't want to waste this.
Let's try a golden kiwi. So they don't really look golden. They seem to be a bit more, I guess, yellowish, greenish. I just want to know if they taste the same or if they taste any different from the regular green kiwis that we know. It's a lot more expensive. These were like 8, 9 bucks. Smell-wise, it's pretty much the same. I haven't eaten kiwis in a while. I'm pretty sure I remember what they taste like, and this just tastes like a regular kiwi. I find it's not as sweet as a regular kiwi. It is sweet, but I guess the other thing is that the skin itself isn't as fuzzy. It's more of a smoother texture. And I guess that's why I don't mind eating the skin on this, because it doesn't feel like I'm eating thousands of tiny pieces of hair. So yeah, final verdict. Is it better than a regular kiwi? It's pretty much the same. It's not as sweet, I think, or maybe this is just the batch that I got. It's almost the same, except It's not as hairy. So I don't know if that's a positive or a negative factor in your case, but for me, I think it's a plus. But to justify the price increase, I don't see me buying this again. Regular kiwis are just fine.
This is my first time trying a fig. I don't know how I've lived my whole life without trying a fresh fig before. I got a whole box here and I believe they're Turkish figs. So let's slice this open. I've seen figs before and most commonly dried figs, but I don't think I've ever just bitten into one like this. It's a lot of tiny seeds. It's not super sweet. Hold on, what is that flavor? The texture is almost like a dense kiwi, but I don't know, the flavor isn't really that strong. It's almost like a really mild kiwi, or maybe like a Chikoo or like a Sapodilla. Maybe this one's not as ripe. Let me try another one. It's super soft, and I also see some people adding this as a pizza topping. It's good though. I can find myself just snacking on this whenever I want because I don't really feel like it's a lot just because of the flavor itself is just very mild. I feel like I could eat a lot of these. It's weird, it's an easy fruit to eat. I don't know, it just has this unique way of just being easy to eat. If I have to rate this, I'm going to give this an 8.3 out of 10. It's good, it's not super flavorful, but it's something that you can enjoy. Let's try a yellow watermelon. Ooh, that looks good. Watermelon may just be my favorite fruit. If not, it has to be a Pakistani mango. I never tried a yellow one before, so let's see if this is any better. I'm going to try the golden balances technique on cutting a perfect well, I hope this is a perfect watermelon. Then we rotate. And let's pop one out. Ooh, nice. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's kind of reminding me of an apple, but it does look like a watermelon. It smells like one. That's sweet. Other than mangoes, I don't know if any other fruit can top a watermelon, especially during summer. It honestly doesn't taste any different. It's the same thing as a watermelon. I do have another one. Let's open this one up and just see if there's any difference. Oh, this one's hard. What the hell is this? This is quite hard. I don't want to ruin my knife. Let me try opening it up with another knife. This one has seeds in it. This already doesn't look as sweet, but let's see. That's also good. I swear, I thought this one was not going to be sweet, but is it better than the other one? It's almost the same. I'm giving watermelons a 9.8 out of 10. Let's try the most expensive cantaloupe in the world. I believe it's called a musk melon from Japan. All the fruits out of Japan for some reason are super expensive. This cost me over $80. Okay, so this looks like a regular cantaloupe. It does smell really sweet though. Okay, it is really juicy. But I just can't see myself justifying this costing me 80 bucks. So far, the only thing that came close to being justified was the Japanese Miyazaki mango. I think that was 70 bucks, but that was actually really good. And I'm a sucker for mangoes. I'm not a huge fan of cantaloupes to begin with. On top of that, it's overpriced. I'm giving this like a 7.2 out of 10.
Oh my god, so sweet.
That's juicy, yeah?
It's my favorite, yeah. ये watermelon से भी अच्छा है. नहीं?
No, I like watermelon better than cantaloupe.
नहीं वो तो है, लेकिन sweetness इतना कभी भी नहीं हुआ ये.
Yeah, it's more sweeter than a regular cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Go take the whole thing. I don't even like this.
So sweet, so good. Wow. आपने खाया?
Yeah. Go. All yours.
इनका fruit ही तो सारा अच्छा है.
Let's try Cantonese wampi. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's Cantonese for something. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But I saw this at my local Asian supermarket and I had to give it a try. It smells like an old piece of wood, almost like you shouldn't eat it. And I don't know if you're supposed to eat this raw or if you're supposed to cook with this. It's a bit sour, it's a bit tart, and almost sweet at the same time. I don't know what these green seeds are. Okay, you can't eat those. And the flesh kind of looks like lychee. A lot of seeds in this little thing. I don't know if you're supposed to eat the skin or not. It reminds me of a sour lychee. Wampi. It's called wampi.
उर्दू में क्या?
I don't know. I don't even know what this is. This is my first time seeing this.
Even look like मुझे लग रहा है जैसे पाकिस्तान में बेर होते हैं.
Bear? What's bear?
बेर कहते हैं हम तो I don't know कि वहाँ खाऊं.
Yeah, go.
अच्छा है. Not bad. थोड़ा सावर है. पहले ऐसे लग रहा था खजूर है, date.
Yeah, I thought so too.
है ना? Taste आ रहा है. Date का भी.
I thought it was more like lychee.
Take care.
Okay, I'm giving wampis, wampi. I'm giving wampis a 7.3 out of 10. It's not bad. Let's try Naga pepper. This is a pepper that's popular in Bangladesh. This smells like it's gonna hurt. Okay, yeah. I feel a bit of the burn on the sides of my tongue. It's almost a bit fruity. It's not as spicy as the green Thai chili pepper. Another thing that I see a lot in Bengali supermarkets is this paste called Mr. Naga. Oh, I don't know about that one. That one kind of reminds me of the Carolina Reaper. It's that smell is really, it just smells like death almost. Hold on. Oh, that's giving me PTSD, I swear. Try a bit of it. Hopefully it doesn't taste like the Reaper. I swear I hate that. Okay, that's not bad. I think this is a pickled spice, that's why. This is more of an ajad. And I'm assuming they have some sort of spice in here because I can taste something. It's not really like the Reaper, but it does smell like it, which I don't like. But it does have a good taste. I can definitely see myself putting this chili on a lot of stuff. But I think I would still prefer the green Thai chili pepper in a lot of the dishes that we use. But on a spice scale, I would rank this. Let's say the Carolina Reaper is 10 and a bell pepper is 1. I would say this is like a 5.7 out of 10. You know, it has a bit of spice, but nothing crazy. You know, like I'm not even sweating right now and I'm not crying. So it's doable. Let's try different mangoes across the world. It's mango season and I want to see which mango is the sweetest. I have to start with the best. In my opinion, it's going to be the Pakistani mango, specifically Chaunsa mango. It's a bit lighter on the inside and I can already see the juice just flowing out of this one. I've been waiting all year for this. To me, this is the epitome of what a mango should taste like. Super sweet, super juicy, super soft. I cleaned this in like 2 seconds. In terms of sweetness, I'm going to give this maybe a 9.6 out of 10. It's up there. Next up, we have a Mexican mango, specifically called the Tommy mango. I also like the color on the outside. It has a nice red, green, orange mix. Okay, this one I can already tell it doesn't look as juicy, but let's see what it tastes like. It's also harder. It has a decent flavor, but again, it's not juicy. It's not as sweet. I wouldn't go out of my way to eat this by itself. 7.1 out of 10. Colombia mangoes. This one is specifically called honey mango, and it kind of looks like one of those viral mango ice creams. Okay, it's much more fleshier. Oh, wow, very soft, sweet. It's almost mushy. I don't know, the best way to describe it would be like an aged mango. You know, one that's just been sitting there for a while, and so it seems a little bit funky at the same time. 8.7 out of 10. Indian mangoes. This is specifically called Kesar mango. Ooh, nice color on the inside. It's dripping. Whoa, this one's dripping. Ooh, super soft and juicy. Okay, the texture is quite similar to the Pakistani Chaunsa mango. It's very soft, but it's a different type of mango flavor. Like the Pakistani mango reminds me of an actual mango juice box. This one, it's just a different type of mango, but I can almost kind of taste the skin too, which isn't as sweet, so that's kind of throwing off the taste a bit. You know, there's a bit of that bitterness, but it's still mainly sweet. It's good. I'm gonna have to give this one maybe a 9.1 out of 10. Next, we have another one from Mexico. I believe this is called an Atolfo mango. It looks decent. Okay, definitely juicier than the other Mexican mango, but it is a bit sour. 7.9 out of 10. Dominican mangoes. Again, also nice color. Ooh, soft. Juicy, it's already squirting. Oh, surprisingly not sweet. Man, this one's a deceiver. It looks juicy, the color was right, it's soft, but then when you bite into it, it almost feels like it's trying to be sweet, but it's just not getting there. It's like for a split second, you can taste a bit of sweetness, and then it just immediately drops. It has potential. I'm gonna have to give this one maybe a 5.3 out of 10. But let me know in the comments if you guys have any more mango recommendations from different parts of the world, and I'll see if I can try and find them. Let's try a variety of dates. I have 9 dates here from different parts of the world, and during the month of Ramadan, we usually break our fast with a date. So let's try out some of these different types and see what they taste like. First up, let's try Mazafati. This is from Iran, quite dark in color. It's soft and fleshy. So it's a bit sweet. It's not super sweet. I can see myself eating more than one of these. It's also white on the inside. Salgai. These are from Saudi and it's more of an elongated shape. It also has a bit of white at the bottom. Not as soft as the first one. Not as sweet, and it's giving more of an earthy flavor. I don't know why, it's kind of reminding me of the smell of a cigar, and it has more of a bite to it. Next up, Deglat. This is from Algeria, and it's much lighter in color, almost a bit see-through, and the skin seems very thin as well. This one is sweeter, but it doesn't really have that traditional date flavor. I think the flavor is kind of a mix between a date and a bit of caramel. I think maybe because it kind of looks like caramel, my brain is immediately going into that direction, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. Next up, Ajwa, and this one's from Saudi. And this one is extremely dehydrated. It's hard. It's super dry. Kind of looks like a dried plum or even like a raisin. Okay, the outside layer is quite hard, but the inside is soft and gooey. It kind of reminds me of molasses. It's a dark, rich sweetness, and it's a lot chewier. Next, Majul. This is from California. Okay, now this one's my favorite. It's not too small, it's not too large, it's also not too soft, it's also not too hard, and it's also really sweet. You know, it has a nice mixture between it having a bit of a bite but also gooey on the inside. To me, this is just that classic date flavor. How do you even explain what a date tastes like? I'm doing a video on dates and I don't even know how to explain the flavor of a date. What is that date flavor? Whoever knows how to properly explain it, leave it in the comments. But like, this is the classic date flavor for me. Next, sukari. This is an interesting color. It's almost bronze golden. It's also lighter at the bottom. It's quite soft, almost like the first one. It almost melts in your mouth. It's quite sweet. It's giving me this aftertaste. It's kind of giving me honey vibes. Wow, I don't even need to use my teeth. I'm just pressing it against the top of my mouth and it's melting. Next, khudri. This one is a bit hard, elongated, dark brown. Kind of looks like a mini majul. It doesn't taste like majul. It's not as sweet. It kind of reminds me of ajwa. You know, it's that dark, rich, molasses type sweetness. It's not as soft. It is a bit hard. Like, you have to chew this one. Okay, I don't know if it's because I'm eating a lot of dates, but this one tastes kind of spicy. Like, I'm feeling a bit of a kick in the center of my throat. Next, safawi. This one kind of reminds me of the last one, but it's a bit harder and the color is more of a darker brown. Okay, a lot chewier. It's not really sweet as compared to the other ones. So this is kind of giving me tamarind vibes. It just has maybe just a hint of that tartness. You know, it's a bit sweet, it's a bit tart. And the last one, we have fresh dates. I don't know where this is from exactly, but I'm sure a lot of places can grow fresh dates. Immediately drying my mouth. Oh my god. It's crunchy, a little bit sweet. Kind of reminds me of an unripe pear. Yeah, but my mouth is just super dry right now. Coming into this, I knew majul was going to be my favorite. Well, I thought majul was going to be my favorite, but ajwa is giving it a run for its money. Like, ajwa had this nice, dark, rich molasses flavor. It had a bite on the outside, but it was gooey on the inside. So it's either majul or ajwa. It's hard to choose. But definitely those are in my top two. After that, I also like sukari. It almost melted in my mouth and it had a bit of a honey flavor to it. If you guys are fasting this month or you just love dates in general, let me know in the comments on which one you eat or which ones are your favorites. Let's try different apples and see which one's the best. Golden apple. It's like right out of Minecraft. It is quite sweet. Overall flavor is just like a regular apple flavor. And juiciness is mediocre. 8.1 out of 10. And I'm gonna see if my parrots want an apple too. Little. Macintosh. It's like half red and green. This one has more of a crisp. It's not as juicy, but it does have more of a apple flavor. I feel like if I went to an apple picking farm, I would get something like this, but it's not as sweet. 7.6. Russet. It looks like a russet potato. Oh! Wow, much more dense. Again, not as sweet. It has more of that natural apple flavor. 7.1. Mutsu. I think this is a crossbreed from Japan. Oh, that's juicy. Average sweetness. Kind of reminds me of golden apple, but it's not as sweet as the golden one. 7.8. Red Delicious. It's a bit juicy, not as sweet. It's kind of drying my mouth. I think this is what you would put on your teacher's desk in the morning. 7.4. Honey Crisp. With a name like that, this better be sweet and crispy. It is juicy. It is crispy. 8.2 out of 10. Fuji. Juicy, a bit sweet, but it's not as crisp. 7.9. Granny Smith. Kind of sour and tart, a little bit sweet. It's a bit dense. I think the only time I see people using this a lot is when they're baking. 7.3. Gala. Okay, that's definitely the crispiest. It's also juicy, but it's not as sweet. 7.8. Cortland. It's a bit mushier, not as crisp. It's a little bit sweet. It's also giving me apple picking vibes. 7.7. Ambrosia. That's also quite crisp. Kind of reminds me of Granny Smith, maybe a little bit sweeter though. 7.5. Okay, all in all, the best apple seems to be between golden and honey crisp. Let me take one more bite out of each and see which one's best. That's sweet, juicy, and crispy. Oi, oi, apple. Now let's do golden. Now the texture is softer, but it's so sweet. I think texture is playing an important role. It has to be crisp, so the winner is going to be Honey Crisp. It's in the name. Let's try different olives. I have 12 olives here from different parts of the world, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of olives, especially on my pizza, but I do like it in a red sauce pasta. First up, Palestinian. So this is a green olive. Okay, honestly, they all probably smell like an olive. It opens up your taste buds on the side of your mouth. but the Palestinian one is giving me a bit of a sweet vibe to it. So it's still very strong, but there's a hint of sweetness too. Lebanese, and they have black and green ones. Oh, that's really different. Okay, this one isn't as strong. It's kind of giving me a hint of chocolate, and let me try the green ones. Okay, the green one's kind of reminding me of anchovies. It's almost a bit fishy, but in a good way. Greek, this is a big boy. And they also have it in black too. So strong. You know, like if you can think of the flavor of an olive, this is probably what you're tasting. It's just that stereotypical olive flavor. And let's try the black one. Quite similar to the green one, but maybe a bit vinegary, Moroccan. Now this one reminds me of the ajwa date from Saudi Arabia. It has that wrinkly skin. A really different flavor, but the first thing that comes to mind is shoe leather. Okay, so if you're going to a leather shoe store and you smell that leather, that's basically what this tastes like. It's like an old rundown leather shop with a hint of olive. Spanish. This is so tiny. Oh, that reminds me of grapevines. It's a little bit sour, a little bit tart. It's not a heavy olive flavor. I dig it. Portuguese. I don't even taste anything. Okay, this one barely has a taste. It's almost like the taste of a really light olive oil. You know, it's so subtle. Syrian, and they have it in black and green. I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind is an expired olive. Yeah, this one tastes kind of similar to the Greek one, but just not as pungent. Let's try the green one. Okay, that one tastes more fruity. It kind of reminds me of the Palestinian one. It's a little bit sweet. Nafplion or Nafplion. I don't even know what that means or what this is. If you know, let me know in the comments. I don't know, the first thing that came to mind was Italy. It has that strong olive taste, but there's something else too. It's almost a bit lemony, so it has a hint of lemon. Kalamata. Now, I tasted these ones before. I believe I put this in my red sauce pasta. It's not as pungent. It kind of reminds me of beef jerky, and it's a bit salty too. Semlik or Kemlik. I don't know how to pronounce that or what that even means. It sounds Greek. It's not as strong. It kind of reminds me of the last one, Kalamata, but not as salty. And this one is a black one. I don't know where it comes from. It just said black olive. I think this might be the typical black ones you get, but I'm surprised it doesn't really taste that strong. It's a bit mellow. I don't think these are the ones that you put on pizza, are they? Because if they are, like, it tastes fine. I don't know why I'm hating it on pizza though. And the last one is green. Again, I don't know where it's from. Okay, that's the one you put on pizza. It's so strong. Okay, so I guess whenever I have pizza with olives, there has to be green olives because the black ones, if they are on there, I guess I'm not really tasting those, but these guys just overpower everything. I mean, there's no point of even eating the pizza at that point because all you're tasting are these olives. Okay, so top 3, definitely the Palestinian one is up there. It had a bit of sweetness, which I liked. After that, I would say Spanish. It kind of reminded me of grapevines. And the third one would be Nafplion. It had a hint of lemon in it, which was cool. And if you guys are really into olives, let me know which one is your favorite. Or if I missed some, let me know what you guys like in the comments.